Dear student, today we are going to discuss line-to-line revision that NCERT based, and the topic is human reproduction. So, human having sexual mode of reproduction where fertilization is take place when the involvement of the two germ cells or gamete. So, the two gametes are fused together and that form the zygote. So, germ cells, that is sperm and ovum, that is form sperm in the case of male, ovum in the case of female. So, when girl and boy attain the puberty, they are sexually mature, and there many changes take place during the time of puberty. Development of the secondary sexual character, development of secondary sexual organs, and many body physiological changes take place. So, like changes in the boys and girls are the common. The pitch of the voice, new development of the hairs in new areas like armpits and genital organs, and develop oily skins and pimples also developed. So boys having hair growth in face, voice begin crack, and that is a changes in the boys. So that changes during time of puberty, the age of the puberty in the girl, that in the case 11 to 13 year, and in the boy that in 14 to 15 year prox. Okay. So now we discuss male reproductive system and female reproductive system. So this is male reproductive system one by one. So the male reproductive system which produce germ cell having two portion, that is primary reproductive organ and secondary reproductive accessory organs. Primary reproductive organ help in the formation of the germ cells or gamete, and secondary reproductive organ help in the transport of the germ cells, and also glands which provide nutrition and nourishment for the sperm. So male reproductive system where the germ cells are produced, that is called testes. Testes located outside the body in a cavity, that pouch-like structure called scrotum. Scrotum located in the outside the abdominal cavity. The temperature of the scrotum is below than the normal body temperature, 2 to 2.5 degree below than the normal body temperature, which is very important for the formation of the sperm. Very important point. And then the testes also secrete some hormone during the time of puberty, that is testosterone, which help in the development of secondary sexual character and the development of the sperm. So that is a function of the testes. Then sperm form delivery through the vas deferens. Vas deferens is a tube-like structure which unite in a tube which coming from the urinary bladder. So that is a vas deferens. To where the testes, where the sperm are formed, this is transported by the vas deferens and unite a tube come from the urinary bladder. This is structure. Okay. So this is helping the transport of the sperm. Very important. Then that this extended to throughout, that is called urethra. Urethra is called common passage both semen and urine, because urinary bladder also open, and that vas deferens also open in that common area, that tube. So that's why urethra is called common passage both semen and urine. Very important. Along the path of vas deferens there is many glands like seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland or copper gland. So seminal vesicles, that one pair which secretes seminal fluid, which main content of the semen, and prostate gland also thin milky secretion which help in the formation of the semen. So that these fluid which is released in, provide the lubrication or provide the nourishment of the sperm, also that help in the transport easier. Okay. So that is the function of this fluid and provide nutrition. The spermatini structure, sperm having different parts like head region, middle region, and tail region. So in the head region, that is which that is genetic material is present, and that middle portion, that is mitochondria is present, and tail region, the tail which provide the motility. Okay. The sperm is having consumed mainly genetic material, and long tail help them toward move toward the female germ cells. Very important. So that revise all the important points related to male reproductive system. Also practice the figure. Now we discuss female reproductive system. This is female reproductive system. Similar as female reproductive system, having one pair of ovary. So that ovary produce the germ cell, that is called ovum. In every month, one of the each ovary produce ovum, which ovum that is received by the fallopian tube. This fallopian tube open into the sac-like structure, that is uterus. Okay. So Egg cell and female ovary responsible for production of some hormones. Hormone that is secreted from the ovary, that is estrogen and progesterone. Very important. Estrogen help in the development of secondary sexual character in female. Ovary already contain thousands of eggs. That egg start developing in the female during the time of fetal development, and then they get mature and produce egg cell during when girl reach to the puberty. Important point. And some start maturing, egg produce every month ovary. The egg is from the ovary and then oviduct. Oviduct, a fallopian tube which receives the egg. Two oviduct unite elastic bag-like structure called uterus, and uterus open into the vagina through cervix. Okay. So that important point is there. When there is ejaculation of the sperm, they first reach to the vagina. Through the vagina there is cervix and the uterus, and then goes into the fallopian tube. When the fallopian tube, they encounter the egg cells where the egg are present, and the fertilization is take place simultaneously. After the fertilization, here the zygote is formed in the fallopian tube oviduct. After the formation of the zygote undergo the mitotic division, and that goes into the uterus, where the uterus wall become thick. Uterus having three layer, that myometrium, endometrium, perimetrium outer, myometrium and endometrium. This is endometrium, highly thick and rich in blood vessel supply. So in that region, the embryo, that zygote dividing and form the embryo which come and attach to the uterus wall, that is called implantation. After the implantation, that blood vessel supply and nurture the embryo and provide nourishment to the embryo for their growth and development. Very important. So as we discussed, through the vagina, the sperm enter through the vagina, pass through the intercourse, they travel toward the oviduct to and encounter the egg where fertilization is take place, then zygote is formed and then implanted into the lining of the uterus. Okay. And where seen earlier mother body, then the lining of thickening reach every month, that uterus become thick and ready for receive the embryo and nourish the embryo. When what happened, when this fertilization does not take place, then this lining of the uterus that become thick for the receiving the embryo, this undergo for the breakdown and degeneration, and this is released through the blood as a menstrual cycle. Okay, important point. So embryo also, after the fertilization, when embryo is implanted and get nutrition, there is a mother, that embryo get nutrition from the mother blood with the help of special tissue called placenta. So placenta is a structure which is provide nourishment to the embryo from the mother blood, from mother to fetus. This shape is structure which is embedded into the uterine wall. Very important. Then the embryo side, there is a villi like finger like projection like structure, which is surrounded by the blood space of the placenta mother side. This villi, what is the function of villi? As you know that villi and microvilli, they are having increase the surface area in the small intestine. Similar, this villi which is present in the placenta, this promote the large increase the surface area for the glucose and oxygen pass. Okay, for the glucose and oxygen pass from the mother to embryo. Very important. Embryo also generate the waste material carbon dioxide, which is transferred from the into the mother through the placenta and release out. So that is a function of the placenta. Very important. Okay. So what is the important point? The first one, that is puberty and changes during the time of puberty, and the male reproductive system, that function of the testes and the hormone that is released from the testes, and the function of this hormone testosterone. And then after each what is the function of these ducts, seminal vesicle and prostate glands, the secretion from the semen and provide nourishment to the sperm. And then what is the function of vast difference help in the transport of the sperm, female reproductive system. Then the function of the ovary, what is produced and what is the name of the hormone produced from the ovary, that is estrogen. And after this what is the function of after the fertilization, zygote is formed. Where zygote is formed? Zygote is formed in fallopian tube. And what is the function of fallopian tube? It receives the ovum, where the fertilization is take place. And after the fertilization, zygote undergo the successive division and then implanted. Where implanted? Uterus helping the development of the embryo and nourish the embryo by reaching the blood supplies and thickening of the uterus wall. Next, what is the function of placenta? Also provide nutrition for the from the mother to the fetus and removal of the waste material. So revise all the important points. Thank you.